Hi again all, Indigo, we're back again. Right, starting to do the wheel today. Going to strip all the edge all the way around, get it polished, and then the centres decided they're going to be orange. So I've just started sticking on the nitrum ores on the rim. I'll keep going around and come back to you when it's starting to bubble. Right, back again. Right, I've done an even coat of nitrum ores all the way around the outer rim and just on the inner rim, because as I say, the centres I'm actually going to be painting, so I'll be polishing the outside. But yeah, first paint strip around. I even had a bit left, so save it going to waste for a moment. Put some more on the tank, but it's still got a lot of work to do. So all I've got to do now is just wait for that to start doing its stuff, and sorry, I'm not going to bore you with waiting around, so come back to me later. See you later. Right, back with you again. Hopefully you can see this. Converted my buffer, my grinder, bench grinder, into buffing wheel and a copper wheel. Basically what I need to do is I'm going to strip all these down. So I just basically take it down to the bare metal. As you can see, it's starting to come up, so I'll continue on with this and come back when I've started the other side. Right, so that's one done. Basically, it's almost like a minor polish just to get the paint off. I find that's the wheel I use. It's a copper wheel, copper wire wheel. It is just to get the finish off. Give it a good clean up. Obviously I'll be removing the pistons, checking them, and obviously replacing the seals. Splitter seals will be replaced. It is a complete caliper rebuild, but that's one side done, so it just gives you an idea. Yes, there's a few little bits like there you go right into the crevices, but they'll be done I'll do them by hand, but the majority of it has actually come up quite well. So when you compare the original, which was basically like that, not very nice, and then you work to this stage. I mean, if you want to go on and polish from here on in and make them polished calipers, then you know, that's everybody's choice. I'm actually going to the black. Obviously, because the theme of the bike at the moment, as you can see, there's not much left of the front end. The wheel's out, obviously, over there at the moment. That's got nitrum ores on it. Tank also got nitrum ores on it. Just stripping off that side, and then we've got the other side to do. So yeah, there's still plenty to do. But yeah, I'll give you another view of the other caliper. Just in case people have forgotten, this was the keep it wrapped up in a drawer at the moment, so it's safe, doesn't get scratched or damaged. Bit difficult doing this one-handed, but right, this one basically started off exactly the same as this. It then went to this stage, was completely cleaned up. Brake pistons were removed, sprayed up, cleaned, splitter seals replaced, screws replaced, cleaned up the bolts. As you can see inside, all nice and clean, ready to go on the bike. As I say, I've gone with the black because that's the theme I'm going with. Catch me later. I'll start doing this one now, prep it up, and I'll come back to you when I've finished. Cheers. Right, back again. Right, just on this one through. Still got a little bit more to do, just in the corners there. But again, looking a lot better. Obviously, some of the cracks and crevices difficult to get into, so these I'll do up by hand. But yeah, definitely getting there. I say I'll finish up these bits by hand, and then I'll start prepping for getting them painted up. Obviously, get these pistons out, we'll clean through, just clean in these bits here, replace all the splitter seals. So that's the next job. So now I've got, as you can see, much better looking, but still a long way to go. As for the tank, as I say, while I'm doing normally one thing, I'll switch over to putting some nitro wheels on the tank. We've scraped a few bits up already. Quite a lot of layers of paint were on this tank. I'm basically going to go back to bare metal, start again, build it up, get some rust treatment on the ends. Not looking too brilliant along here. And as for the wheel, yep, that is bubbling nicely, so I'll just wait for that for a little bit longer. Maybe give it there's a few stubborn areas where it's not taken properly. I'll scrape that off. But as I say, the wheel's is true. There's no real dinks in it. Actually looks in good condition. As I say, before I cleaned it, obviously it looked terrible. So just leave it there for a bit. Obviously I'm gonna polish up the middles. They've just been wire brushed for now, just to. But obviously with the new discs going in, and me being a bit, I like things done properly, and it will annoy me if I see stuff behind it. So these will either be painted black, and then the discs on top. But as I say, the main spokes, they're going to be orange, and a polished rim. So one side bubbling away nicely. Obviously the other side to go. But as soon as that it's finished doing its stuff, I'll start scraping that off, and see you again then. Right, back again. As you can see, that's actually starting to peel off quite nicely, come off quite nice. So I'm going to continue on with this. As I say, pointless me filming all of this because there's nothing more boring than somebody doing paint stripping on a wheel. So basically I'll keep going round, and I'll see you on the other side. Right, back with you again. While I'm waiting basically for the nitro wheels to do its stuff, taking out the front end again now. Obviously the next thing to come out will be engine, and then I can get this this frame rubbed down and prepped and ready for powder coating. So the front end basically now sitting on the workbench. Lots of cleaning, lots of polishing. I rub the ends down and get them sprayed up. They'll be black as well. And sticking still with the forks, I do like these forks, ZX9R, sort of a B model. They do give me slightly more height, but obviously the gold colour doesn't really go, so be a long arduous task of stripping them down, starting to polish those. So I'll go with polished forks, black bottoms, polished risers, and just tidy up the top yoke. May even cut the actual ignition hole out, so it's a cleaner look. Mount the ignition elsewhere, the splitter as well, get that polished up, and bottom yoke, which actually isn't too bad. I've already done a little bit on it already. Obviously top yoke, got a little bit more to do underneath. I've actually had to skim it down again. It started to have a little bit of a polish, but obviously where I've been drilling and it's scratched again. This is, I don't know if you can see that, but that's its original sort of like a brush steel, and I've just done a little bit on this side just to give you an idea. So it is starting to come up. As you can see the light bulb shining. So that's the next bit, is basically start on these. As I said, these were anodized blue. These have been roughly just on the wheel just to get them off, and now I'll start rubbing them down. Small detailed sander on some areas. I've actually worked out that I can actually rig a small little detail sander up with wet and dry, and that seems to do the job perfectly. Obviously the more fiddly bits, obviously by hand. So yeah, so at the moment, a little bit on the tank, the wheel, done the first layer. So as you can see, now I've got a layer of white paint underneath, but that's bubbling nicely, so that'll be stripped off, and then I can start doing that. But as I say, it's trying to keep jobs going, as I've got as far as I can on the wheel at the moment until that nitro Moors is bubbled and peeled nicely. Same with the tank really. It's all little jobs that I'm doing basically while I'm waiting for other things, so I can sort of like get that prepped, get the nitro Moors on it, leave it, and then I can come back to bits on the front end, and like I showed you earlier with the brake calipers. So we've got a pile of bits here sitting at the moment. Obviously rear calipers got to be done. Obviously rear calipers VFR. Luckily I've got the whole lot with the brake line, but I'm going to replace the brake lines anyway, so that's got to be stripped all down, but that'll be when I get near to the back end. I just want to get the front really sort of prepped, sorted. It looks as though I am going to have to go for a stem change, because obviously being a 1982 Z1000, the stem was a lot different, a lot narrower. Trying to get the correct bearings for it, I can't find them. So I mean, if anybody watching this has actually done a Z1000 J2 converted to a ZX9R, please leave some comments for me, because the only way I can see it at the moment is I'm going to have this stem actually pressed out. I do still have the original bottom yoke with stem, but as I say, if anybody can shine any light on it, would be much appreciated, because yeah, it's going to be a lot of work. I'd have to actually get that done by an engineer. But yeah, leave some comments in the comment box below. I try and reply to as many as I can, but if anybody can help me out with that, I know there's been some guys out there that have done these conversions. Just a few little tips really of the best way to go about it and how you actually did it. Also another one, again, this is going out to people that have done this conversion, whether it be on a Z9 or a Z1000. When you've actually got the actual bottom yoke in, obviously this is the original sort of like steering on it, So obviously when you're turning, I'm actually hitting the tank. So obviously this has got to be sorted out. Again, any tips, any hints, please leave it in the comments below. Yeah, as a good friend of mine said, I'm just an amateur. Nice one, Adrian. I'll speak to you soon. Cheers for watching.